You're listening to Life with Herpes, and this is episode 28. Welcome to today's episode of Life with Herpes. I am your host, Alexandra Harbushka, and I'm always excited to be here. Always excited to have you listening, whatever it is you're doing, whether you're going for a walk, whether you're at the gym. I heard from some people, they're like, yeah, I'm at the gym listening to this, or folding laundry, or doing the dishes, or whatever you're doing. So thank you for spending your time with me. I'm excited to be doing whatever you're doing, I guess. Yeah, whatever you're doing, I'm doing that right now with you. So I'm excited to be doing that. As you know, this is my favorite portion. I get to hear from you. I love getting the texts, the emails, the IMs, the Facebook groups. I love all that. So I love that hashtag Ask Alexandra section because I get to know what's up in your life. I feel connected. It's always touching to get emails from you. So I'm excited for this one. Before I get going, I want to talk about the Life with Herpes Crisis Toolkit. As you know, I'm passionate about this. I put this together. I created it. I wish I had this when I was diagnosed with herpes back in 2011. And it's basically just a great way for you to have hand-holding, to learn the 101, everything you need to know about herpes, to know what to prevent, what not to prevent, or how to prevent it, things you should be using, and things that do not work with preventing outbreaks. And basically, how to prevent outbreaks and get back to your beautiful life. So head on over to lifewithherpes.com. You will see on the tab up there, I have Crisis Toolkit, and I also have a button at the very top of the page. So head over there for that. And without further ado, I will get into today's episode. So it comes from Tom, and he is from San Diego. So obviously, I'm stoked to have someone from San Diego. It is my hood. It's my hometown. So Tom, we are probably neighbors. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we run into each other at the grocery store or Costco. I have no idea. But thank you, Tom, for reaching out from San Diego. So yeah, it's always cool to have someone in your own city. Okay, Tom, you asked such a great question, and it is a really simple question, but it is such a big answer. And I will probably get going on this one. So your question is, what is safe sex? Right? And I'm so glad you asked this because it sounds so simple, right? Like we're taught, okay, use a condom, that's safe sex. Use a condom, you'll be fine. Oh, if you used a condom, you're fine. Okay, well, here's a couple things so I used to teach for Planned Parenthood when I was in high school. It was a really cool organization. It was a nonprofit. And I was educated by Planned Parenthood how to pass a test and everything like that. And then I went into the schools. I went to fellow high school classes throughout different high schools here in San Diego. And I actually taught sex ed to these kids. So I was the same age. I was 16, 17, 18, whatever age I was. And teaching to 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds as well. So here's what I learned from this. So the best form of safe sex is abstinence. All right, now you and I both know that's not realistic and that is not what I'm preaching, but that is obviously the safest method of preventing any form of STD is safe sex, is abstinence, not having sex or engaging in sexual activity. Let me define what sexual activity means. That means intercourse, which can be vaginal. That means intercourse, which can be anal, and that means oral sex. That also means foreplay, which is using hands to stimulate one another's genitals. I'm trying to be really not scientific I don't want to turn you guys off, but I'm trying to be as detailed as possible. So sorry if I sound like WebMD, but basically, so foreplay, And oral, anal, and vaginal sex is all considered sexual activities. So again, the best way to avoid it is not partake in any of that. Now, I don't agree with that. I know none of us here agree with that, and that's wrong. Why wouldn't we want to partake in something that is part of life? It'd be like saying I'm not going to eat, right? Like it's like I'm not going to go to the bathroom. I decided that's just something I'm never doing again. Well, that doesn't work, right? Okay. Getting back to safe sex and protecting sex, and one of the things that I wanted to say is consistency. Consistency and consistently practicing safe sex every time with every partner. It's really easy to think, and hey, I've been there, and you think, oh, well, this is somebody I've had sex with before. I totally trust him. I'm good to go. That does not mean that he or you, or in my case, a he, could be a she for you, whatever, has not partaken in other sexual activities with somebody else. It does not mean anything, right? So always, 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 and always have that conversation with your partner. I know it's a Debbie Downer to be like, so, have you had any other sexual partners since we've last slept together? If so, I mean, that's hard to have. I get it, totally get it. But you know what? It is totally worth that conversation to have it. So being consistent, doing this every single time. Now, what am I talking about being consistent with? Okay. Protection. Use protection. What do you use protection for? Oral sex, anal sex, and vaginal sex. Yes, oral, yes, anal. Typically, and I can speak for myself being a female, is one of the main reasons why we use condoms is we're scared of pregnancy, right? Like, I don't want to get pregnant. So we'll use a condom. And I think that is pretty much second nature for most heterosexual couples is we got to use a condom because we don't want to get pregnant. Well, what about we got to use a condom because I am protecting myself and I'm protecting you. I'm protecting myself from anything I may have that I do not know. And I'm also protecting you in that way. And you're going to protect me for the same situation. So yes, oral and anal sex are the two things that we really need to work on. Herpes and other STDs or STIs can be passed through oral sex. Okay. And I know that obviously I was a teenager. I went to college. I've been through my 20s. I know that we do not use condoms for oral sex. It's just not a thing. However, it is just as likely to get herpes from oral sex as it is from vaginal sex. So something to really consider. What is a dental dam? I have to be honest, I had to Google this. I've never used one. A dental dam is basically like it's latex, it's a condom material, and it's in the shape of like a rectangle or a square, and it's what you would use to place over the vagina to perform oral sex. So like I said, I haven't used one. I don't know what the sensation is like. I don't know what the contraption's like, if it's user friendly or whatever. I can honestly say I do not know. I did see that they come in flavors, so it can make it interesting. So that is great. Let's see. We all know what a condom is, right? Normal, regular condom that should be used if you're performing oral sex on a man. You should use a condom for that. Again, they come in flavors. They come in colors. It makes it interesting. So that is another way to be using oral sex to protect both of you. From spreading, passing herpes. Another thing is anal sex. Again, we think condom, pregnancy. We forget that anal sex can also pass STDs, STIs, and herpes. Remember that herpes is skin to skin. Okay, so one of the biggest misconceptions, one of my biggest pet peeves that I know people are not thinking of, and I know this is we think, well, we just need to use a condom when we're having sex because that's the only time an STD is transferred. Well, what we forget about, what we're not taught is use a condom during foreplay. That's safe sex because you know what? You're touching each other's genitals. Just because you're not having sex doesn't mean you're not coming into contact with an STD or STI, specifically herpes for our conversation here, right? Because we're trying to prevent passing this to a future partner or our current partner or learn if our partner has it, how do I not get it, right? But yeah, it is skin to skin. So here's what I want you to think about. During foreplay, I don't know if there's a word afterplay, I don't know, after sex, you take off the condom, whatever. If there is skin to skin at any time with the infected area, you are able to contract herpes. So think about after sex, you cuddle, right? Think about before sex, like maybe you're having some foreplay and there's no condom on because we're taught to think, well, I got to put it on when we have sex. So these are just some things, again, I really want to make sure, and I'm so glad Tom brought this up. There's a lot that goes into safe sex. Just knowing that when you are in skin to skin situations with your genital regions or oral regions, that you're going to have to use safe sex. Again, oral, anal, and vaginal. Okay, so we've talked about dental dams. We've talked about condoms. Everybody, that's a pretty obvious one. A condom is made out of latex. That is the safest. They do use polyurethane if you are allergic to latex, but the latex does the best job at protecting all of the little viruses and bacteria from getting to one another. However, the best form of birth control, look at me again, I said birth control. See, where it's ingrained in us to think of condoms for birth control. We need to look at them for STD prevention. I am even catching myself saying it. But really, the best one for preventing an STD is a female condom. And this may be like a surprise or a shock to some of you going, what? A female condom? I've never heard of them. Again, I will honestly say I have never used a female condom, so I do not know from personal experience what it's like. But basically what it is it's a much larger condom. As you know, a condom kind of has a shape. It's like a popsicle, and then there's like a little area at the tip for the ejaculation. A female condom is much wider. You insert it into the vagina, into the vaginal canal, and then so it's inside the woman, and then the man he does not use a condom, and he then inserts himself into this female condom. Why I say that is probably the best in protecting yourself from herpes is the female condom on the outside. It covers more space. So as you know, using a regular condom, there is really no protection other than just on the penis, right? So there's other areas of the skin that are touched. The female condom actually covers more. So there's just more space being covered. Now, with that being said, can you still transmit herpes? Yes. Are the female condoms a little bit more complicated? Yes. Can they fall out a little bit easier? Yes. Again, I have not tried it, but when I taught sex ed, we would show female condoms, and I can remember using like an example with my hands to show people how to insert it. So I know what they look like. I know what they are. I just have never used one. You can also use it with anal sex. You can use female condoms with anal sex. Again, I have not used that. So I'm not quite sure how that works with inserting it. I would read the instructions if that is something that you are interested in doing. Again, I don't know about that. All I can talk about is using a condom from personal experience and making sure that is used consistently and every single time. Here are some things that you can think about before having sex. This is also another way to, something to think about. Actually, before, these are some precautions you can look at for safe sex. It means, do you have any cuts orally, genitally? So yeah, do you have bleeding gums? Like if you're about to perform oral sex and your gums are bleeding, or maybe you have a kink or sore, or any sores in your mouth, that would be something to think about before performing oral sex. And it's also something to look at. Ooh. You guys are going to laugh, those of you that are watching this on YouTube. I have to put pillows up around me because I have a vaulted ceiling, and so it echoes, so my pillow just fell down on me. Anyways, where was I? With oral sex, you gotta look at, hey, what is, if I'm about to receive oral from somebody that has bleeding gums or cuts on their lips or mouth, like you might want to look at that and kind of see what's going on. Vice versa, we need to be aware if we're performing oral sex, if we have cuts, things on our mouth. Really important. Vice versa, in our genital region and in our anal region. Hey, is there anything bleeding? Is there anything cut? Did I cut myself shaving? Ladies, we are always shaving. Do I have ingrown hairs? Do I have open sores, whether it's herpes or not? Something that's really important to look at, because if you have an open sore, that's an easy way for something to get in. Obviously, we're talking about herpes, but there's other STDs out there that can get in through open sores. Again, I only really know about herpes, but yeah, those are other ways to get in. So before you enter into sex as well, this is another thing. I kind of touched on it in the beginning, is talk to your partner. If this is a new relationship and you don't know if it is exclusive, then you absolutely better be protecting yourself. Yeah, is it a pain to use condoms? Yeah, it is, right? Is it a pain to be like, oh, we got to have this conversation before we have sex? It's not sexy to talk about past partners. Yeah, I get it. But you know what? It is so worth it in the long run, protecting yourself and your future self. My little quote, your future self will thank you for this. But yourself will. You are just protecting yourself. And what is sexier than that? You're looking out for yourself and you're looking out for your partner. You're looking out for their health. That is sexy. So have conversations, ask. Another one, I have a friend in college. Oh my gosh. He used to put his STD test up on the refrigerator because he was so proud of it that he had no STDs. Why I'm laughing at that is ask to see their STD test. Ask. Or offer to show yours. It works both ways. Hey, I have herpes, but look, I guarantee you I don't have anything else. On my end, this is what we have to worry about. And these are the things I'm going to do to make sure I don't pass it to you. This is what safe sex is. And asking that partner to do the same thing for you. Ask to see their STD test. Make sure you look for herpes. Is it on there? So I'm so glad you asked this, Tom, because I could go on and on. Again, safe sex is just being aware, asking questions, using a condom every single time. Not maybe, not oops that one time, not It's being consistent with it every single time. That is the most important thing. And ask questions. Ask. Use condoms, dental dams, and female condoms, whatever you prefer and whatever is best for you and your partner, for whatever it is that you're doing. All right, Tom, thank you for asking that question. I kind of got a little heated on it because I am tired of people going, oh, well, I always use safe sex. And I'm like, I really don't think you do, because I don't think you know what safe sex is. So when I overhear people say that, like at a bar, like you overhear people chatting and I'm like, no, I guarantee you're not using safe sex. Anyways, Thank you, Tom, for asking. If you want to be cool like Tom, because Tom is obviously awesome because he's from San Diego, and you want to ask your question, you can head on over to lifewithherpes.com. I do have the hashtag Ask Alexandra button. It is a Google form. Ask. I will add it to the episodes. And like I said, I just love seeing the emails from you. So be cool like Tom. Also, I want to make sure you are a member of our community. It is free, which is great. It is a free community. Feel free to ask questions in there. You are not going to be alone. It is an open and safe community for other people like you and me who have herpes. I have some ebooks for you. The 9 home remedies that help prevent outbreaks, and the 5 things I wish I had known before I had herpes. So 2 great ebooks in there. So join. I love seeing people join, and you can blah, blah, blah. You can become a member of our Uber Secret Facebook group and head on over there. So go to lifewithherpes.com and sign up. All right. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everybody else for listening. I will see you in the next episode, and I'll see you soon. Bye.